Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to my kitchen, Deborah's Delicious Dishes. Giving honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because he's so worthy to be acknowledged and praised on this day and any other day. Wouldn't you agree? Today, guys, I'm making a chili sausage mac. And what's special about this recipe is that I'm using ingredients that I already have in my refrigerator that I have used before, like leftovers. This is going to be called the leftover meal. Chili mac with sausage leftover meal. I have some rotini noodles back there. I hadn't used them, but most of the stuff is from the refrigerator that was used before. I have my seasoning blend, which is the onion, celery, and bell pepper. I pulled out some corn from out the refrigerator. These are some crumbly sausages that I made for breakfast preparation. I'm going to show you that video at a later time. I have some taco mix that I had left over from a cornbread taco casserole that I made. I have a package of sazon, some chili seasoning, some oregano. I'm going to use some garlic and herb pasta sauce. And back here I have some ragu sauteed onion and garlic sauce. So we're getting ready to get this recipe started. So I already have my hamburger meat in here because that's what I made my taco cornbread casserole with. And these are the crumbly sausages. So I have my water boiling. I'm getting ready to get this recipe started. I'm going to put my noodles in the water, let them boil for like 8 minutes. Then I'm just going to mix everything together. All right. Okay, guys, so these are my noodles. They've been drained. Took all the water out, and I just have them sitting there. In this pot over here, I have the sausage meat that's cooking down. I have the taco meat that I use for the taco cornbread casserole. I have my seasoning blend, which consists of onions, bell peppers, and celery. I didn't have enough onions in that bag, so what I did, I got a small onion from out the fridge. I washed it and I cut that up and threw that in there. I had some cherry tomatoes that was in the refrigerator that was going a tad bit soft, not too soft. So I said, you know what, let me cut them up and use this in this chili mac sausage meal. So I threw those in there. And then I put some garlic in there. I added some water and the corn from out the refrigerator, from out the freezer. So now I'm going to mix all these ingredients together. So what I use for the seasoning, I use some chili seasoning blend. I put in some minced garlic that I keep in olive oil. I added some coarse black pepper. I added some oregano. I added a package of sazon, and I'm going to put a quarter of a teaspoon of sugar in there. Then I'm going to add my garlic and herb pasta sauce, and I'm going to add my ragu. So guys, I was thinking, back in the day when I was working, I was able to go in the store and pick up whatever I want, whatever ingredients I needed for a recipe or whatever I wanted to eat for that day. I would just pick it up and I had no qualms about it. But now, that was when I was working and I was making a paycheck. Now, since I'm not working, it's okay to go into your cabinets, your food pantry, and your refrigerator and deep freezer and pull out things that you may have used before for another meal. I always store stuff. I always prep beforehand. I have things in my refrigerator where I would cook a breakfast meal. I would make homemade pancakes and waffles and just stack them up, put them in a freezer bag, and just put parchment paper between them and just put them in a bag. And I'm gonna give you a tip where if you put cooking oil inside your Ziploc bags when you're storing this food, it'll be more fresher and it'll last longer. Trust me. So it's okay to use things that you've used before, because I can't afford to go in the store and pick up food and then, or throw food away after you finish eating it and you feel like, oh, that's enough, I'm tired of this, store it away. No, store it away for another day. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm grateful and I'm glad that I'm able to do that. Like, I can go to my fridge and say, okay, I had this for a meal a couple of days ago. What can I use it for now? Use your imagination. Put them ingredients together. You will be amazed at what you can come up with. So let me stir this up, guys, and then I'm going to add my sauce. All right. Guys, now look what you can do with ingredients from out of your refrigerator. Does that look good or what? I have my chili seasoning in there, my corn. I have my onions, my bell peppers, my celery, my garlic, my cherry tomatoes. I put in some coarse black pepper. I put in sazon. I put in chili seasoning. Now I put in the teaspoon of sugar. I said a quarter teaspoon, but I put in a teaspoon. So now I'm getting ready to add my sauce. And I'm going to stir this up. Now, that's what you can do with ingredients from out of your refrigerator. Hence, leftovers. Leftovers can be all that if you put them together and make them sing. It smells so good, too, guys. That garlic is coming through. The oregano, the chili seasoning. All right, let me stir this up. So, guys, now this meal is almost finished. I added some more minced garlic in it. I added some olive oil, basil leaves, 2 bay leaves, and red crushed pepper. And there's going to be a bonus at the end of this video, so please watch it. I'm going to show you how I do my sun-dried tomatoes, how I prep them and put them in olive oil, okay? All right, so I'm going to mix this together and I'll show you the final product. So guys, look at this pot of gorgeousness. I don't know about where you're from, but here in Jersey, for some reason, this weather is just misbehaving. It is so cold up here, and here it is the end of April. I mean, like May is knocking on the door, so I don't get it, but it made me want to get some a big pot of something together. And as I was in the midst of doing that, I was like, you know what? I have a lot of things left over in that freezer. And I was telling my son the other day, I said, there's a method to Mom Madness. I save things because they will be used at a later date. And even when I had money, I would always prep and save things. So that's what made me pull things out the freezer today. And look at this gorgeousness that it made, right? One man's garbage is another one's treasure. And I found a treasure within my garbage today. Well, not literally the garbage. But this is my chili mac sausage meal. And it has corn, sausage, ground beef, rotini, noodles. It has all types of veggies, onions, celery, bell peppers. It have cherry tomatoes, corn, frozen corn. And what else did I put in here? Some bay leaves, basil, sazon, crushed red pepper, a little sugar, and garlic. And that's about it. And my sauces, of course. That's what was created out of what I did. Okay, so the bonus that I have for you guys today, let's move over. I buy sun-dried tomatoes in a jar, but sometimes if I can find them, I will buy them in the packet, which you see right there. So what I did, I cut them up. I have some olive oil in my jar. I always, if I do things like this, like my onions, garlic, sun-dried tomatoes, whatever veggies that I'm putting in the refrigerator to preserve, and olive oil brings out the flavor for some reason. I always put olive oil in my jars. And you know I do my own garlic now. I buy the garlic fresh. I wash it, chop it up in my handy dandy chopper over here. I'm going to put the description to that link. If you guys like what you see, I've used this on a couple of videos. It's perfect. It stays on a charge forever. It's Papigo. So I'm going to put the description down in my, put the link down in my description. Okay, so let's get back to this recipe. But that's what I use to chop up my veggies. And it does a really fine job. You see how that garlic is chopped up in there? Okay, so now, but my sun-dried tomatoes I did by hand. So I have a bay leaf in here. I'm going to put a little more olive oil in there. And I put some of that minced fresh garlic in it. That's why I had that out to show you. And I put just a pinch of sazon to keep that nice, bright, vibrant color. And I'm going to add my sun-dried tomatoes that I chopped up. I just used my my kitchen shears to chop those up because they're kind of, you know, hard to do with the knife. Not too hard, but I just chose to use that. So I'm going to put those over in the olive oil. I already have garlic sazon in there. And then I'm going to add a little more garlic oil and put the sun-dried tomatoes in there with the bay leaf. Okay. Okay, guys, so this is the sun-dried tomatoes. I put just a pinch of sugar in it. And that's how I do it. And those will last for a couple of meals. Sun-dried tomatoes are good to put in salads, to put in soups, stews, casseroles, for Spanish cooking, Mexican cooking, Italian cooking, whatever. Any type of food you want to cook, sun-dried tomatoes are good for it. So I just wanted to show you how I prep that. And it's easy to do. And it plumps up the dried tomatoes that was in here. Plumps them up a little bit when you keep it in the olive oil. And then it's just a nice flavor. So I just wanted to show you that little bonus. I try to give you little tips sometime because you know your girl. I have a lot of videos where I prep things. And I just love doing that because it makes life in the kitchen easier. Thank you for joining me, guys. God bless you. May heaven smile down upon you. I hope you take some of these tips and take them into consideration. You will be in amazement and surprise of what you can do in your kitchen when you go in there and look through things that you put aside that you have for that you use for another dish. You can also use it for another dish. Don't throw away. Be frugal, be smart, use those leftovers. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining my kitchen, guys. Later. Guys, another tip for you. I'm doing detoxing now, so I have my little bottle here, time to detox. The infusion, I put my vegetables or my fruits inside of this little container right inside of there, the little plastic container with the holes in it. And this keeps me going through the day. It keeps me hydrated, and it also keeps me to a point where I'm trying to get healthy and fit because I have this surgery coming up in July. So I put pineapples in there, whatever fruits I can get, sometimes veggies like cucumbers, celery, mint. Okay, so I'm doing my ginger today, so I was cutting it up anyway for the detox. So I said, let me give them one more tip. You can see where I grated my ginger. And to do my ginger, I use this right here. This little Betty Crocker gadget is the best thing, I'm telling you. The little vegetable scraper. And this works for me with the ginger. You have to cut around this sometime, but it helps out a lot because you know the ginger skin is hard to take off. So I washed my ginger after I took the peeling off, cut it up with a knife. I added some ground ginger and just a pinch of sugar. And I'll let this sit. I'm going to put some fresh water in there and let it sit. And then I'll just constantly put it in my detoxing bottle. And that's what I drink throughout the day. And ginger is good for you for arthritis, for a lot of things. And you guys know my knees are shot. So any little thing that helps out and take away some of that pain, because I'm in pain every day of my life. Not looking for a sympathy party. I'm just telling you what your girl is working with. So that's why I'm going for the surgery. But I'm in pain every day of my life with my knees. And then I have a bulging disc in my back. So yeah, but I'm still here. God bless me. Just wanted to give you another tip on the ginger, okay? Thank you guys for joining me again. Bye. Ginger is in there. As you can see, it's inside of the infusion. So I made a mistake. I don't put the ginger in the refrigerator. I put it in the freezer. So I pop them out while they're cold, and I put them inside of the diffuser. As you can see, the ginger is in there. And I mostly add water. I put teas in here. But I don't add sugar, and I'll just put the fruits in it to make it a little sweet, and then also to help me out with the vitamin D, C, and everything like that. So this is how I do it. Like you can see, I add mostly water to whatever I'm going to add at the bottom. Then I just shake it up, and that's my detox. And I just sip on this. I do this like twice a day with the detoxing with the fruits and the vegetables or whatever. And that gives me water because I don't like drinking water. Obviously, I love drinking. Let me rephrase that. I like drinking water, but I don't like the fact that there's no flavor in it. So I will drink bottles of water, but then I'll do 2 of these a day. All right. Thank you, guys. Hey, guys. Good afternoon. How are you doing? This is your girl, Miss Debs. I'm coming to you with this recipe. I'm going to make some biscuits. I'm going to put some bacon bits in them with cheese and a little onion and herb seasoning. I'm using Bisquick, 2¼ cups of Bisquick. I have around about 2 tablespoons of lard, and I have some of this Parquet Creamy Taste Vegetable Oil spread made with real milk. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of that in, and I'm going to use some buttermilk, like 1/4 cup. And then I have some crumbled up cheese right there. And I sprayed my muffin tins with some Manzola canola cooking oil. And I'm going to add in some onion herbs. Nice recipe. You can have this on a weekend with your breakfast, or you can have it at night for dinner or for lunch. All right, guys, let's get this party started, giving honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because he's so worthy to be acknowledged and praised on this day and any other day. Wouldn't you agree? Because without God, there could be no me, no you, no us. Welcome to my channel, guys. God bless. So, guys, Miss Debs is losing it a little bit. The most important part was the chives. So, I just added some chives. I got my cheese in there, the onion and herb seasoning, and I have the bacon bits. You can use as much as you want, but I use like a half a container right there. And I use around about a tablespoon of the onion and herb because it doesn't have salt in it. It's salt free. And I use some chives in it as well. So I'm going to mix this together. Then I'm going to put it in my muffin tin. Now this is the consistency you want. It's kind of wet and a little sticky, but it can release from your hand. So now I'm going to put some of those in this tin over here, and I'm going to put them in the oven. So guys, this is them. So I use the big scooper like this. So after they cook for a little bit, around about 3 minutes, then I'm going to baste them with some butter, and I'm going to put some chives on top. All right, guys, I'll be back. Okay, guys, so it made 10 biscuits. I have 6 in the oven in a muffin tin. And then I have these 4 right here. Now, I put it in a muffin tin because I wanted them to have a little height to them. So I melted some butter over there. I have my little brush. And then I have the chives over there that I'm going to put on top, okay? So it should be out soon. I have my timer on. All right. So guys, now you see how by me putting them in the tin, they have a little depth to them, like they have a little length to them. Height, that's what I meant to say. Okay, so I used some of the butter, the melted butter. I brushed it on top of the biscuits, and then I added the chives. So now I'm going to put this back into the oven for a good 5 minutes. I'll bake the last 4, and then I'll show you the final results. I don't have to show you again till they're all done, okay? Just a short, quick video. All right, guys, be right back. Okay, guys, yum. Here is my plate. You see that nice looking cheddar bacon biscuit right there with the chives? I have my chili mac with sausage. I'm going to try this, guys. You can see the onions, the peppers. Mmm. Oh my God, that's good. I'm cutting open the biscuit. See that? Mmm. Wow. That bacon and the cheese, everything tastes so good. And that's my meal for today. Thank you guys for joining me. God bless you. Try this recipe out. And don't forget to look in my descriptions. I'm going to put the link to the pipigp, the chopping gadget that I have. Thank you for joining me.